In today's video, I will share 5 ways how homeowners cheat their contractors. If you're one of the homeowners who are looking to hire contractors right now, especially roofing contractor, please watch this video, analyze yourself, your behavior. Don't be one of these guys. Do it right. Treat your contractor with respect. Let's go. The very first thing that homeowners usually do wrong is asking their contractors to pay deductible. It's absolutely illegal, it's immoral, it's absolutely wrong. If you're one of those homeowners, repent your sins, please don't ask your contractor to pay deductible. Eating deductible is the reason why so many contractors go out of business. Eating deductible is wrong on so many levels. We made an entire video. I'm going to put it in the description below why eating deductible is wrong and everything you need to know about eating deductible. But in a nutshell, do what's right. You're getting entire roof or entire remodeling project for free pretty much. All you have to do is just pay a deductible. The rest is covered by insurance company. That's what it takes to do it right. If you are one of those people who just trying to save money everywhere you can.
Do you take coupons? Tragic.
My advice to you is don't do it. Even if you have other contractors who is offering to eat deductible, cover it. And it's tempting for you because you're going, okay, this guy have to charge it and this guy is willing to cover it. Please go with a contractor who do the job right. Go with a contractor who will not cover your deductible, even if you have someone who will. Another reason why I don't recommend asking them to pay deductibles, if they agree to do that, they're not going to be in business for too long. In 2018, my roofing business have collected $175,000 in deductibles. Think about that. It's half of our profits for that year. If I would be giving away deductibles every single year, I don't think I would be in business now. I probably would be one of those statistics of, 80% of contractors go out of business within the first 5 years. A lot of them fail within the first 2 years. Just a small amount on every job adds up, and then when the contractor gets big bill to pay to his work comp insurance or from his supplier, he simply doesn't have money. You might be ending up with a lien on your house because he couldn't pay his bills. I'm telling you, waiving deductibles, it's a big problem in the roofing industry, and we highly recommend you never ask your contractors to pay it. Second way homeowners cheat their contractors. They're sick of contractor advice and ideas but passes them to a lower bidder. Happens all the time. Just don't be that guy, please.
Wow! That's a low price! Wow! That's a low price!
Treat your contractor and his time with respect. If you see one contractor who is very detailed, who is willing to give you the drawings and explain your process really, really well, I understand that somebody can do it for cheaper, but don't use the drawings, don't use intellectual property. I see a lot of homeowners asking, full detailed quote and drawings and, designers' ideas. Sometimes, you go through entire process like picking colors, understanding everything, sometimes maybe even filing a claim with insurance, meeting adjusters. And then after all of that work is done, don't shop after you went through entire process with a contract, sales process with a contractor. Make a decision first, who do you like and who you would like to get bids from, especially if it's some custom design or if it's insurance process and they have to go through a negotiation process with insurance, because it's very hard on a contractor to go after homeowner who've done it. Because let's say I meet you and we set up a meeting with your adjuster and we got your roof improved for insurance claim, right? And then at the end of that process, you're telling me that you want to go with another contractor, maybe because he's willing to pay deductible, or maybe he wants to give you some kickback. Who knows what the reason is? I'm telling you, it's not ethical. Probably if that would happen to me, I'm most likely not gonna go after you just because it's not worth the legal battles and headaches, and experience is not pleasant for both parties. My recommendation is screen your contractors first. Make sure you like the contractor you work with and you will give him business. Don't be this guy who just goes in and take advantage of the best company in town, but then trying to save money, still going with the lowest bidder who could not provide all of that service, because contractors' time is very valuable too. So if you're not planning to use us, please tell us in the beginning. Say, hey, I'm just shopping around, I'm not serious, I already have a contractor I'm working with. Don't take advantage of good contractors to save money and go with the lower bidders. It's just not very cool. Third way is straight out fraud. Unfortunately, happens every day in the roofing industry, is asking for a bigger invoice to send to insurance company. Happens all the time. Homeowner wants to get as much money as possible from insurance company, goes with a lower bidder, and sometimes goes to maybe bigger company he didn't go with and say, hey, all the work is done, insurance is paying me this amount, but I know that they could be paying me more. Is it a way you can give me bigger invoice? As a matter of fact, it happened to me several times, because when we come out, we do full presentation, we tell people, hey, it's going to be, let's say, $15,000 claim, but right now it's $11,000. The only way to get extra $4,000 from insurance company is to invoice to all the work, supplement, sometimes negotiate with a desk adjuster, right? So what's happening, it actually comes straight from the second way here. So what's happening is homeowners don't go with it contractors, so they're saving money, they think. So they have estimate here, but they don't estimate is not an invoice. You cannot send estimate to insurance company, because estimate does not mean that work actually was done. So what homeowners are doing, they're using these estimates to get lower bids here. Now they got lower bids, but to get more money from insurance company, they actually have to have invoice. Well, this contractor, if you went with a lower bidder, he's not going to give you a bigger invoice. So oftentimes homeowners come to the contractor and say, well, this job should be a little bit more. I'm going to pay you what you ask me, but can you give me a bigger invoice? That's straight out fraud. If you're the contractors, never, ever, ever do that.
You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
It's illegal. Homeowners, if you're even trying to do that, please don't play gimmicks. You will be in jail. Your contractor might lose his license. It's not worth for anyone. The risk nobody needs to take. Just do what's right. Hire the companies who do what's right. Don't go with the companies who are giving you kickbacks. The reason is, the only way to do it is you have to create a paperwork, and that paperwork is pretty much fraud. Don't do it. Unfortunately, it still takes a lot of place. Comment below if you're the contractor, if homeowners have been asking you to give them bigger invoice so they can pocket more money from insurance companies. Fourth way how homeowners cheat their contractors is this: ask crew or employee to hire them directly. Actually, it happened to a good friend of mine, Robert from Chicago, Revived Exteriors. Here's what he said: everyone have a subcontractor convince customer to cancel contract for other work to be done in the future. I did. He sold them on a cheaper product and a cheaper price. I remember when I was working for general contractor and a homeowner approached me, say, hey, Dmitry, do you do work on the weekends? I have the shower to do. It's unethical. If you do business with a business, please maintain that relationship. Treat the business owner with respect. It takes a lot to employ people. You're talking about payroll, taxes, all the liabilities. It's hard for business owners sometimes to advertise, to find the homeowners, and when you find a homeowner, you sell them job. It sucks to find out that homeowners work directly with your employer or sub. I remember homeowners reaching out to me years ago, 10 years ago, when I was working for general contractor. I always turned them down. I always came to my boss and say, hey, that customer, we just finished basement. He asked me to finish his bathroom upstairs. He was asking me if I can do it, I guess, to save you money, if I can do it for lesser than you. And I remember those conversations. They are not comfortable. So do what's right. If you're not planning to hire a bigger company, You can go to Craigslist and find the crews or freelance or someone who works maybe for a union and try to find them in the first place, but don't hire a contractor and then approach their employees or their crew and try to hire them directly. That's just unethical. You're cutting the middleman, and middleman is a good man. He signed the contract with you, you guys have agreement, and now you just want to take advantage of his business position and of his connections. I mean, he built a business, he hired those people, he takes care of them. And for anyone to go behind his back and do business together, it's just not right. Unfortunately, it does happen. I don't recommend it. If you're the homeowner, be the good guy, treat your contractor with respect. And the last one, number 5, is when a homeowner asks for unreasonable discount at the end of the job or refuse to pay for a reasonable change order. Unfortunately, it happens all the time. Sometimes it's contractor's fault who did not explain billing in general or change orders in general. In roofing, it's usually something that has to be with unseen materials before we start the job. So when you bid on a project, you don't see what's underneath. You don't see amount of rotted wood you might have, condition of the decking or plywood behind the shingles or siding. So when we open it up, oftentimes we have to do extra work and we have to charge for that work. So in my business, we always specify how much it's going to be, what's included. So usually up to 3 sheets of plywood is included, and we don't even charge extra. But then sometimes 1, 2 jobs out of 100 will have to completely redag because the gaps in the plywood are too big, or plank boards, or it's too soft. Sometimes plywood gets delaminated, things like that. So sometimes you have to surprise a homeowner with a $4,000 bill on extra work. And when I say surprise, it's not really a surprise if you had a conversation in the beginning. Unfortunately, we have to make decisions fast when we do the work. Most roofing jobs take only 1 day. So when you open a roof, sometimes you call the homeowner and notify them, hey, here's what we're dealing with. It'll cost you a little bit more. But what happens if homeowners is not there? What happens if he cannot return a phone call right away? It'll be at the end of the job. So what happens pretty often, I would say, homeowners refuse to pay their change orders, claiming they did not know it took place. My advice to you, if you're the homeowner, always budget for a little bit more. Things happen. Roofing and siding, I would say 98% of the jobs should go as planned. But if you live in a very old house, like if your house was built in 40s and 50s, just expect some extra work to be done because you never know. So if you're on a tight budget, maybe have strict conversation with a contractor that, hey, I cannot spend $1 more over this budget. Have that conversation before, but don't take advantage of your contractor who will open your roof or siding, will do what's right to take care of your property, and then just deny his bill on the back end. Maybe have a conversation what the maximum extra it could be, how much more of the work, how much more it might cost, the worst case scenario. Another thing I see a lot is unreasonable discounts request at the end. Sometimes we might finish, $15,000 job. We're trying our best to clean it, and let's say we didn't clean a couple nails and someone stepped to the nail, or you have a flat tire. How much does flat tire cost? $150, $200. I've paid for quite a few flat tires in my lifetime, but you don't have to ask me twice. Send me the bill, I will cover it. But I see homeowners asking for $2,000 or $3,000 off because the job was not finished on time and it took extra day to finish. And they will say something like, well, I have to take extra day of work. Now I don't want to pay the bill. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, we got a call from the homeowner who did not pay us for 3 years. He's trying to sell the house, never disputed the bill, but at the end of the job, he told us, I think you made fine with this job. I think you made some profit. And he did not pay me over $2,000. Why? Have no clue, but I know he was trying to take advantage of me. Now he cannot sell a house until he settles with us. And, I have my payday. Actually, July 20th of this year, he has closing on his property, and he will pay us with a smile on his face, I hope. Now, my tip to you as a homeowner, it's totally fine to ask for discount at the end of the job. So let's say you have a flat tire. Let's say they didn't clean well and you have to spend 3 hours of your time cleaning around your property, whatever the case is, just be reasonable. I would say $300, $400, $500 off, $15,000, $20,000 job is reasonable. But when you ask thousands of dollars because we cause some inconvenience, I think it's unreasonable. Expect some inconvenience ahead of time. Our jobs are messy. Sometimes we do listen to the music because it's our work day. We want to enjoy it a little bit when we work hard. Sometimes it's messy. You will see materials flying around, wrappers, nails, shingles. It's hard work. We're trying our best to clean the job, to stay quiet, to finish on time, but sometimes things don't go as planned. And in construction, it's very common for jobs to take a little bit longer, for extra work to pop up. You didn't plan to replace some plywood. Sometimes things happen that you could not foresee. So be reasonable with your contractor. It's okay to take a couple $100 off if he inconvenienced you or something that was promised was not done. But please don't ask ridiculous amounts of his final bill. Try to pay him for his work. My advice here, read your contract carefully. Have good understanding when exactly your contractor will be expecting that payment. Is it upon completion? Is it net 14? Is it the same week? Is it during the final walk? Make sure you understand what you can take off from the invoice and for what amount. Also, I see a lot of homeowners don't want to pay their bills for very minor punch list items. I would recommend set up something like 5% for punch list. But if your job is $20,000 and you only paid your contractor $10,000 down payment, and now you're holding $10,000 final payment because you don't like 2-3 little shingles on top of the roof because they're curling, it's just unreasonable. That contractor needs to pay his bills for the materials, for his labor, all of that. So pay him maybe $9,000 and keep $1,000 until he will take care of the punch list, but don't punish him holding all the money. Because trust me, even $1,000 will build some urgency for him to come back and take care of the problem, but it's just unreasonable for the homeowner to hold a huge amount of money for very little amount of work. So that's my advice to you. It's all I have for you for today. If you're the homeowner looking for trustworthy contractor, we have a lot of good guys in our directory. Check out roofinginsights.com/directory. If you don't see a contractor who covers your area, reach out to us. If you don't see a contractor serving your area, reach out to us direct. I would be happy to find a contractor in your area that I can recommend. We back up all contractors from the list with our $20,000 guarantee. You will be happy with the work. If you don't, we will make it right. Also, what did I miss? If you're the contractor, comment below some crazy stories. I read all my comments, I reply to them. I try to come up with my list. If you see a few more ways how homeowners are cheating you, I would like to hear from you as well. If you enjoyed this video, give me one of those. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.